Good morning, everybody. I want to welcome you to Creating Cards with Debbie. And let me introduce myself. My name is Debbie Foster. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I'm located in Bismarck, Arkansas. And I'm just going to give a moment to everybody to get on here. When you come on, please comment and say hello, and maybe say where you're watching us from. It's fun to see where everybody is. And don't forget about that icon that's down in that corner. It says like and subscribe to my channel if you're watching on YouTube. And if you're watching me on Facebook, be sure that you share the video and like the video also. And I would love to have you follow me. That helps my viewership, gives me more people that are watching and gets my ratings up there, which I'm looking for. All right, so let me bring my comments on here and watch for any that come on. I want to apologize for not being here last week. We were busy, we were camping, and it was our first camping trip of the season. So we had a good time. Didn't do anything drastic or anything, just a lot of relaxing and visiting with our friends. It went real well. We had one day of rain, but it wasn't so bad. All right, so let me go ahead and get into our housekeeping notes here. I want to tell you about our paper pumpkin kit for, this is our May paper pumpkin kit. Let me get my notes over here so I can follow along with it. It says Sparkling Celebrations, and you have until May 10th, which you've got, today's the 7th, so you've got 3 days to sign up for this one. And I forgot to say what the date was. It is Thursday, May 7th, 2026. And the Sparkling Celebrations Paper Pumpkin Kit, you can create bold, celebratory cards perfect for invitations, congratulations, and special occasions. It makes 9 cards, 3 each of 3 designs with 9 coordinating envelopes. It has pre-cut paper pieces with silver foil, gem embellishments, and the Stampin' Spot that you'll get with this one is going to be the Misty Moonlight. And it says silver foil gives cards an eye-catching finish. So looks very pretty. I'm anxious to see what mine looks like and get started on it. And along with the paper pumpkin kit for the months of April, May, and June, we have the add-on dies, which are called Beautiful Blooms dies. And the item number on this one is, well, I don't have it right there. I have it. Item number is 168665, and the cost is $13, but you have to be a Paper Pumpkin subscriber in order to add those onto your order. So you could sign up for the May Paper Pumpkin Kit and add this on with that order and get the dies to go along with the next 2 months coming, which are very cute. And there are, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different dies there, so that's a pretty good price. All right, Paper Pumpkin, you can pay as you go and do a monthly, and it is $29, and that includes shipping. So, or you can get a 3 months or 6 month or 1 year subscription to that, and you'll also receive $2.20 on rewards, Stampin' Rewards, to go along with that each month. All right, and then next we have the product of the month for February or April. I'm still a month behind here, or a couple months behind if I said February. All right, April product of the month is called Eyelet Blooms Dies. It says bring soft stitch texture to any card and craft sweet lace-like layers in seconds. And we're going to be using this die today, so I'll be able to show it to you a little better after we switch our cameras around. All right, and what the product of the month is you can purchase that for $5 once your order reaches $75 or more. And the item number is 167984. And these are while supplies last. We have a new one each month. And I think you can still get the last 2 months worth. I didn't check my website this morning. I should have. All right, and I'm going to switch my camera around because I'm going to show you something that's going on right now with Stampin' Up. So let me do that. Be patient with me. I'm kind of out of wits here from not being here last week, I guess, out of practice. And add to stage. Let's remove this. Okay. So Stampin' Up! Has got a new joint special going on for the month of May. And I guess you can't really see that really good. It says when you join Stampin' Up! From May 5th to the 31st of May, you'll get our new 2026 to 2028 in color classic Stampin' pads free. These 5 new on-trend colors are not only fresh and fun, they also come in our new case that closes with a secure magnetic seal and stacks smoothly, making crafting neater and more organized than ever. All right, it has easy open magnetic case, stackable for neat storage, firm felt surface for easy inking. All right, and I've got those right here. And we've got 5 new colors. We've got crisp cantaloupe, barely blush, hydrangea hue, peaceful pine, and golden glow are the colors that are in there. And let me just open one of these and demonstrate. It's a magnetic, so you grab it from the side and just open it like this. So very easy to open. If you have problems with your hands, if you have arthritis or something, you can open them very easily, and they close real easy. And then they are magnetic, so they stick together if you want to stack them that way, or you can use your stack and stack to put them in. They fit in that also. So that's a $63 value that's added on to that $125 worth of product. So let me tell you about joining. Okay, along with in color Stampin' pads, you receive your starter kit, which includes free business supplies and free shipping. Plus, you'll get all the fun that comes with being a demonstrator, project inspiration, early access to the latest products and catalogs, demonstrator-only events, and more. Don't need ink? You can choose an additional $35 worth of products for your starter kit instead. That's $160 worth of products for $99. But if you choose the stamp pads, that's an added $63 onto that $125 worth of product. So you're getting $188 worth of products for just $99. And that includes free shipping, which that's a big savings there too. Reach out to me if you are interested in getting your kit. And let me bring up that website that you can go to. And it's also in the description of my video also if you miss it now. All right, so I think that's all the news we have to bring today. I think I talked about everything. Like I said, be sure you comment, say hello when you come on, and like and share the video. And if you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe to my channel. All right, and I'm going to leave that up for a moment. And I'm going to give a moment for everybody to get here, being that I wasn't here last week. You probably forgot I'm going to be here today. All right. So let me go ahead and take that off. And if you want to shop any products with me, you can shop at my store, which is www.debbiefoster.stampinup.net. And you can get any of the products that I'm showing today or any paper products that you may be needing for if you're a scrapbooker or if you're a card maker or just a paper project person. You can find anything that you might be looking for. All right, so let's take that off. And like I said, all these links are going to be in the description of this video also. So if you miss them, you can just click on one of those and go where you need to go. All right, so let's go ahead and get started as long as I've got my camera turned around here already. And our first one is going to be showcasing an embossing folder that's new in the. Oh, I forgot to tell you about our new catalog. Let me bring that and show it to you before we get started. It is brand new. It started Tuesday, May 5th, and we have gone to instead of one big annual catalog, we've gone to I think it's 3 catalogs a year. So this is May to August. And then they're not quite as big as the big annual one that we had before, but it's got everything in there. And if it's not in there, you can go to our online exclusives on my website, and there's more products there, which we had some new online exclusives go live on the 5th of August or 5th of May also. So you might want to check those out. If you want, I can send you the link later. Just private message me or send me an email, and I'll be glad to forward that on to you. So lots of good things in here. I should have brought up the pages that I'm using today. But we've got scrapbooking things. We've got card making things. A little bit of everything in here. And we've also got our new Stampin' Positioner that's in here. And I have showed that a few times in my last videos. So I don't know if I'm using it today. I don't think I am. But that's available now to our customers. Lots of good things are in here. Our new in colors. So lots of good stuff. I kind of went crazy with my orders. What's in there, I fell in love with everything, I think. But I can't have it all. I gotta limit my budget here. Okay, so here's our first card. And we are using the new embossing folder, which is called Floral Spray 3D Embossing Folder. Very pretty. And I guess this doesn't really show it really well. I'm probably better off showing it on the card. I do have a white one I've already done over here. I'm not sure if that'll pick, the camera picks it up. Yeah, it does. Very pretty. But I'm using one of our new colors here of Hydrangea Hue, which is one of our new color cardstock. And I embossed with that folder. Oops, got a couple here. Okay, but we're going to add some white craft ink to the top of this to bring out our image here a little bit better. But anyway, this one says, just because, let me bring my comments up here again. Just because you're on my mind. And I hope my lighting is better today. I've invested in a new light here. I'm hoping it does good today. So let me know what you think of it, if it's better or worse or what it is. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. We're going to start out with our card base, which is our basic size, which is our 5.5 by 8.5 inch. And it's scored in the middle at 4 1/4 inches. So we're just going to fold that, and we're going to burnish that fold line with our bone folder. And we're going to go landscape with this card. And like I said, I've already embossed our second layer, which is our Hydrangea Hue. And that is 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches, and it's already embossed. All right. I'm going to get a scrap of paper here so I don't make a mess out of my work surface here. I've already got some smudges on this one. We'll just use that. And I'm going to use my Craft White ink pad. And these come uninked when you purchase them, and they send you the ink refill, which is just our white. And I'm thinking mine has probably got enough ink in it already, so we're going to try that. And I'm just going to run it across. Oh, yeah, I've got plenty of ink on there. And you put as much or as little as you want to. There's no set amount to use. I think that's good. Close that back up. So you can see It brings out the image a little better. Very pretty. And there are different techniques for your embossing folders that you can use, but this is the one I chose for today. And then I'm going to attach that to our basic weight, which measures, I've got two different sizes here, 4 1/8 inches by 5 3/8 inches. So that's going to go onto that, and leaving a small border going around it. And I'm just going to use my adhesive of choice. I like my Tombow glue, but you can use any adhesive that you like. And I'm going to make sure I get that up against the edges. When you've got an embossed layer, you want to make sure you get the edges good so it doesn't lift on you. And we'll set that down onto our basic white layer, leaving a small edge going all around it. And then I have got our ribbon, which is the hydrangea hue. And I've got glue on my fingers I'm wiping off. This is our hydrangea hue, and this is the bordered ribbon. We're going to add a layer going across. So I'm going to just eyeball that and snip that off. And I'm going to bring my tear and tape over here. And I'm going to add a couple of strips on the back side to hold my ribbon in place. I can find the edge of it. I got the stitches out of my finger this past Monday, so it's healing okay after my little accident I had a couple of weeks ago. And we'll pull that off. I'm going to bring my silicone mat over here. And I still haven't found my Stampin' Up! Silicone mat. I'm still using the Amazon one, so I apologize for that. I like to use Stampin' Up! Products if I can, but I didn't purchase another one yet, so I've been using just this one to get by. And we're going to run that across that lower portion, trying to keep it straight. That looks like it's probably pretty good. I'm going to cut off this excess. And now we can attach that to our card front with more Tombow glue or green glue, whatever you call it. I just always called it Tombow glue, I guess. And we'll bring our card back over here and place that down on our front flap, leaving a small edge going around. And I'm going to put that over that way. I'm still getting some craft ink off on my fingers. I should have let that dry. It does take a little longer to dry, but it's doing okay. All right, and then next we're going to set that aside, and we're going to stamp our sentiment, which comes from, oops, lost my thing here. Okay, Flowering Meadow and Forever Florals are the stamp sets I'm using. I'm using the, what did I use on the inside? You're on My Mind from the Forever Florals. And from the Flowering Meadow, I'm using the Just Because sentiment. So let's grab those. All right, we got Just Because and You're on My Mind. And I got a small strip of basic white, which is 1/4 inch by well, 1.5 inch is what it's going to come down to. So that looks like it's a crooked one. Let me get a better one here. And I'm just going to use our black Memento ink. Just because. And I'm going to pull that over here so I can see it better. Just because. And I'll go ahead and stamp the inside while we've got the ink pad out here. This is our basic white for our inside layer, which is 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches. And we're going to stamp that "You're on My Mind" on the inside. And I'm just going to stamp that right centered. And I can get those out of the way. Close this up. I'm going to take that banner off of there. There we go. Get that out of our way. All right. This is going to go on the inside. This is going to go on top of that ribbon. So I'm going to cut that down to size with our paper snips, and I'm going to cut it at an angle. So just kind of snip it. And I'm going to do both sides the same direction. And it's going to go right there, but I'm going to grab my tear and tape again. And I'm going to put a strip of that behind our sentiment to hold it in place. And take that backing off. And I'm just going to curl that over this back side and stick that onto the center of that ribbon off to the left side. And then we're going to put this on the inside. This card's almost done. This is a real simple layout. The embossing folder did all the work, I think. And it goes on the inside, centered. All right, just because you're on my mind. And we're going to add some embellishments to this. I'm using, these are new, they're called Dreamy Flowers. And I'm going to take out 3 of the white ones to add to our card print. Get them out of the package here. And I take your pick tool to grab those with. And I'm going to go with the small ones. So I like to do odd numbers. I'm going to do 3. Well, that's stuck to my finger here. Put that one right in the center of that flower. And another one here. And a third one we'll put up here. So 3. All right, so our first card is finished. Just because you're on my mind. Very pretty and very simple. All right, so let's continue to our second card. Move things out of the way here. Hope everybody's been doing well. Okay, there's our second card. Get our bits and pieces all out here. Okay, here for you always. And you're on my mind and in my heart, and wishing you all the best. So with this card, I am using Flowering Meadow. And I've already misplaced it. How did I do that? Foliage. Okay, I got thrown behind my laptop here. This is a Flowering Meadow. This is a new one. And this is in the new May to August catalog. Very pretty. And I'm also using our perennial postage dies. And of course, I'm using the no. Where did I put that? The new die. Where did I put it? This is the product of the month. Well, I have already misplaced it. No. Leave it to me. Where did I put it? Well, anyway, the product of the month die, which it looks like this when it's cut out. I don't believe I lost it. All right. So let's get started here. And we're going to be doing some stamping and some die cutting. I'm going to show my card base. It's going to be the Peaceful Pine, which is one of our new colors too. And this is 4 1/4 inches by 11 inches, and then it's scored at 5 1/2 inches. We're going to burnish that fold line really good. And we're going to go portrait style with our fold. And then next I have our Hydrangea Hue, which is 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches. And I've already die cut with that die. I don't know what I did with it. Oh, it fell on the floor. That's where it is. Okay. Let me get that out here so I can show you. And all right, so here's the die. And this is the cutout. Very pretty. And if you wanted to, you could trim this down and not use the whole thing. I've seen people do that. Just cut along the lacy part. All right. So that's going to go onto our card front. And I'm going to go ahead and attach that while we cut that out here. And just put a light layer of glue to hold that, because I don't want a lot of glue oozing out of the holes in our cardstock. And we'll center that. Well, a little crooked there. Let me straighten that up. Okay. So here we have our card front. And then next we're going to take our scrap of basic weight. We're going to do some stamping. And we're going to grab our stamps over here that we need. And pretty much using all of the stamps in that set. And all the rest here for you always. Pretty much. All right, we're going to start out with our Hydrangea Hue new stamp pad. And these will stack on top of each other too. And so I'm going to set that there. And I'm thinking, I think I'm going to do some die cutting first. I'm going to die cut my postage stamps out first. and then I know exactly where to stamp at. So let's grab those perennial postage dies. And we're going to be using this one, this one. Let me make sure I've got the right layers. This one. And 1, 2, 3. And then the little square one. So let me bring my machine over here. I'm using my mini cut and emboss machine. Plates. And I'm sure I've still got Miss Squeaky here yet, because my husband oiled it, but it didn't seem to help much. I'm going to bring these down to size so I can fit them in there. Just some fussy cutting. All right. And I don't know if I can get them all onto the plate at the same. Well, maybe. No, not quite. So we're going to cut these and then come back and do that small square last. We can do 3. I'm trying not to jiggle the table too much. And yep, we're still squeaking. She's got personality, I guess. All right, and let's just shoo all those off of there. And we'll do our single square. Had some stormy weather the last couple of days, so today is pretty sunshine again. So we're always glad to see that. And we did plan another camping trip for in July, the second week of July, I believe it is. So I'm hoping that it's not really, really hot weather at that time, but we will see. And I'm going to put those in my plate over there to keep those from getting lost. All right, so here's all of our squares. And we'll start stamping here. I'm going to start out with, like I said, with the hydrangea hue. Maybe I'll do the stems first. We're going to do the stems with our peaceful pine. So we're going to stamp our stems. The large one is going to be the 2 stems. And I'm going to stamp that centered towards the bottom. And then next we're going to do the 3-layer stem. It's going to go on the second to the biggest. And we'll start that out at the bottom also, or maybe a little lower. And next we have another stem here, which is going to go on the smallest one, rectangle. And we'll center that towards the bottom. And these look dark at first when they draw, or they first stamp, but they lighten up a little bit, so they're not quite as dark. All right, so we've got our 3 stems, and we're done with our peaceful pine for now. And then we're going to bring our hydrangea hue over here. We're going to stamp our flowers. So I'm going to start with the group of 3 flowers is going to go onto this second to the largest one, rectangle. And this can be a little tricky, so I'm going to get my image lined up here. And my lighting is throwing me off, so I'm hoping I'm in the right place here. Yeah, it looks good. And we'll set that aside for a moment. We'll bring our 2-stem one over here, and that's going to be our larger flowers. And again, we're going to line those up. And next we've got this little bulb looking flower. It's going to go onto our small rectangle. And then we've got our little stems, or our stamens are going to be stamped using the Golden Glow ink pad. And we're going to get those lined up. All right, I'm going to do the 2 flowers here first. And get those lined up. So you stamp both at the same time, which makes it easy and quick. And our 3 flower one has got 3 stamens on it. So you stamp 3 at a time. And mind the camera, not really. Let me get those lined up. All right. And then we're going to stamp our sentiments. We've got to bring our hydrangea hue back over here. And here for you always. It's our sentiment that we're using. And like I said, that came from the flowering or friendly foliage. Here for you always. All right, so let's go ahead and start putting these together. But before I do that, I've also got our basic white baker's twine, and I have colored it using our hydrangea Stampin' Blends, hydrangea hue. So I did that ahead of time so it had time to dry. But we're going to take that and we're going to wrap it around 3 times. So I'm going to use my tear and tape on the back of that again. And just put one on each side at the lower portion. And I'm going to bring that silicone mat back over here. And I don't need the full thing here. I'm just going to fold it over just to keep from sticking to my work surface. Take the backings off of those. And then we're going to attach our colored baker's twine. And I'm going to wrap it around 3 times. Well, twice anyway. It looks like twice on this one. I don't have a long enough one. Make a bow. I did. And I think I want to put that down lower. Let's take that off again. Put it more towards the bottom. I've got fumble fingers here. And we'll wrap it around twice. And that's going to go onto our card front. This one's going to go towards the bottom. Leaving a small border going around those two sides, the bottom and the right side. Press that down. I was trying to straighten out my twine here. And I've got a double bow that I made ahead of time. We're going to place that down also on top of that ribbon. I'm going to grab my mini glue dots. Place one down to hold that. Where did my ribbon go? Oh, it's right there. And press that down. And then we're going to place down our other ones. We've got one here. This one's going to go up here. And this one here. Attach those with our adhesive. And centered. All right, so far, but we're going to add some bling to that. We're going to use, where did they go? Hope I didn't put those away already. I bet you I did. Let me grab our gems. These are called the 2026 to 2028 in color dots. And we're going to use the hydrangea hue color. And I'm going to add 3 of those to the front of our card. And I take a pick tool right here. So I'm going to use both sizes. There's a large and a small. So we'll start with the large. It's going to go up here. A small down here. And another small. We'll put it up in this corner. I always do odd numbers, so usually 3s. So here's the front of the card. Here for you always. And we're going to work on the inside. We've got a basic weight, which is 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches. And we're going to stamp our 2 sentiments and the double flower at the bottom. So we're going to use the hydrangea hue for the flower. It's going to go in the bottom left-hand corner. I'm not going to put no stem on it, just the flowers. But I will put the stamens in there. Let me grab those back over here. I dropped that in my ink pad. I think I'm okay. And I'm going to use the hydrangea hue for our sentiment also. So let me go ahead and stamp those. And you're on my mind. It's going to go at the top left corner. What you doing, Jojo? Jojo's in here visiting me. And wishing you all the best down in the bottom right-hand corner. And then we can do our flower stamens with our golden glow. And we'll match those up in the center of the flowers. Okay, so here's the inside. Let's attach that to our card. All right. Second card then. Here for you always with those pretty flowers and our die cut product of the month die. And you're on my mind and in my heart, wishing you all the best. All right. And I'm going to move those all out of our way. Get on with our second card, or our third card, I mean. And they're all going pretty fast today. Move some things out of the way here. You after a fly, Jojo? She sees a fly on our screen door here. Our bits and pieces out here, and then I'll show you the card. Instructions. Okay, it's a little hello card for any occasion. And thinking of you on the inside. And the designer I'm using is the Artesian Sketched Garden. And these are black and white. There, you can see it a little bit better. And we're going to be coloring. I think I'm using this pattern, the front side with the flowers, and then I'm using this pattern and this pattern and the stripes. So that's our cardstock. All right, but I'm going to start out with our thick weight cardstock, which is 4 1/4 inches by 11 inches and scored in the middle at 5 1/2 inches. We're going to burnish that fold line with our bone folder. And then I have a basic black, which measures 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches. And next I have 3 layers of our cardstock, which are alternating. And they measure 1 1/8 inches by 5 inches. And we're just going to place those onto that basic black. So, like I said, 1 1/8 inches by 5 inches. All 3 are the same. And we're just going to lay those down onto our card front, or onto our basic black, I should say. So I'm going to go ahead and add my glue to these. And I probably should use my silicone mat to keep my surface clean. Can't hurt. I'll put that up there. Grab our glue. And just put a thin layer of glue on all 3 of those. All right, and then we'll grab our black mat here and we'll start attaching those. I can get a hold of them without getting glue all over my fingers, which is impossible, I guess. All right, I'm going to turn my paper sideways so I can see it better. And I'm going to leave a border on 3 sides. And our next one is going to be the black polka dots. But I'm going to just let that lay there lightly, and I'm going to come back in with our outside layers. And now I can squish this around if I need to get it in place where I need it to be. All right. You don't have to be exact because we're going to be covering it up with a circle anyway. So this is what it looks like. And then I'm going to take my black baker's twine. I'm going to wrap that around this layer 3 times. So bring that silicone mat back over here and some tear and tape. Or you could use Stampin' Seal. Maybe I'll use the Stampin' Seal to make it faster here. I've got a little bit left here. I think I've got that on my next order to get a refill. But I've got enough to get by today. All right. And take that baker's twine, black baker's twine. We're going to attach that and run it around 3 times. And I think I'll start towards the lower portion and go up. So I need it a little bit higher. Maybe right about there, I think. And 3 times. Okay, and we can snip that off. And now we can attach that to our card front. With our adhesive. Make sure I got my card opening the right direction. Oops. Drop that on there. I forgot to tell you about my, what's it called? My grid paper. It's the exact same size as our glass mat is. So that's new in our catalog also. All right, so there's our card front so far. And then next we have our flowers. I've already fussy cut it out of that paper. And we're going to color that using our Stampin' Blends. I've got our Peaceful Pine, Hydrangea Hue, and our Golden Glow colors are the colors that we're using. So I'm going to do my flowers with the Golden Glow. And I'm going to start with a light. And we'll color those. These are the new In Color Stampin' Blends. And then I'm going to come back with the dark golden glow. I'm going to give that some shading. I think I'm going to go the darker on the outside petals and leave the inside a lighter color. And we're going to color those little buds with the dark golden glow. And I think I've got them all there, looks like. And then next, I'm going to do the leaves with our peaceful pine. And I think I'm just going to use the light peaceful pine. I'm not going to do any shading. And trucks are noisy today, coming down the hill. Those on the inside of the jar. Then we've got our hydrangea hue. I'm going to use the light to color the water inside the flower vase. And that's all I'm going to do with that. We could do the dark hydrangea hue on that upper portion, but I just left it with the light. And then next we're going to fussy cut that out, which I have already done. Save a little time. And we're going to use this is the Spotlight on Nature dies, and I die cut this die using our vellum. So I've already done that ahead of time to save a little time. And we're going to attach our flower base onto that left side. And I'm going to just add a little bit of glue to the back side of our flower. And situate that off to the left side of that circle. And then I have a scrap of basic white, which is 3/4 inches. And I'm going to stamp our sentiment, hello, which comes from well, I keep losing things. I don't know how I do that, but I do. All right. Stamp set is called all right. I can't find the stamp set. It comes from the Scalloped Wishes. And I'm using the hello. And then the Forever Florals Thinking of You stamp. It's going to go on the inside. And I'm just going to use our black Memento ink to to stamp that sentiment with. And then we're going to use our triple punch banner to punch that out with. Well, like I said, this is the punch. It's called Banner Sayings punch. And I think I want well, and I stamped it on the wrong side here. Let me see if I can do this. I'm just punching out the bottom one. I got ink on my finger. I smudged it all over my paper. It was clean. And snips here to snip that down a little bit. Got ink anywhere else here? It does find me. All right, and then this we're going to put our adhesive behind that. And we're going to squeeze that in beside that flower pot so it's barely sticking out. And we're going to place dimensionals on the back. And dimensionals are right here. And I take a pick tool with the pointy end, grab some of those off, and we're going to put them on the back of the flower so it doesn't show through the vellum. And onto that sentiment banner. And I think that's good. Pull those off. Take your pick tool. Now we can attach that to the front of our card. And it's going to go right over that 3 layers of twine, black twine. For the gems, I'm going to use the Moody Palette Glossy Dots. And I'm going to use I don't have black in here, but I've got the Secret Sea, which is almost black. We're going to use those. Let me attach our bow here first. I've got a triple bow that I've done ahead of time. And that's going to go right here on the side of that vellum circle. And probably hear my dryer buzzer going off. Doing some laundry today, trying to get the laundry done from camping yet. I think I'm on my last load. All right. So I trim those tails down a little bit. Don't need them that long. And we'll grab our embellishments here and go with the Secret Sea. And we need a third one. Place that one inside one of these flowers. I think I'll put it into that one right there. So we've got our 3. And I think I'm going to put some Wink of Stella. Give it some bling. Maybe on those buds. There. Just a little bit of bling. All right, then on the inside, we've got a strip of our designer series paper, which is 3/4 inches by 4 inches. But I'm going to stamp our sentiment first and bring that black ink back over here, see if we can make a mess again. Get that sentiment up. Thinking of you. Upper center. Close that up. And then we're going to attach that strip of DSP to the bottom layer, bottom area. And it's not going to fit all the way across. It's going to be, I guess this is probably 3 3/4 inches by 3/4 inches. Let me double check that. Yeah, 3/4 inches by 4 inches. No, that's not 4 inches. That's too short. I think I cut it shorter. Oh, it is 4 inches. Okay. I'm wrong. My directions were right. Okay, so here's our third and final card for today. Hello. Thinking of you. So I hope you enjoyed the cards today. Let me put all 3 of them down here so we can display them. All right, get them all in the camera view. Other than that smudge there, don't pay attention to that dirty smudge. All right, so I'm glad you're able to be here today. And if you weren't able to watch me live, I want to thank you for watching the replay. And be sure that if you're watching me on YouTube, that you hit the subscribe button and the like button. And also tell your friends about me. And if you're watching on Facebook, like and share, thumbs up, whatever it takes to give me more viewers. I'd appreciate that. So until next week, which will be May 14th, I'll be doing another live. And I'm not sure what products I'm going to be using, but it's probably some new products that have gotten in that we'll be doing. And until then, y'all have a good rest of your week. And again, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it so much. Bye-bye.